Let's just start with the truth. Your life right now is a reflection of your attitude. Not your job, not your partner, not your past. Your attitude, and the good news, you're in charge of it. Singly, day, I get it. Life throws curveballs. People disappoint you. Money's tight. Time's short. And sometimes everything feels like it's falling apart. But your attitude, that's the one thing the world doesn't get to mess with unless you hand it over. So here's the wake up called stop waiting to feel positive. Stop thinking motivation is going to magically land in your lap. It won't. You act your way into feeling better, not the other way around. You want a better life. Then it starts with how you show up when things suck, not when life is perfect. Anyone can smile when they're on vacation. But when the alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and you don't want to get out of bed, that's the moment that counts. Your attitude in those micro decisions, that's what builds your reality. And let me be clear, a positive attitude isn't about pretending everything's great. It's not toxic positivity. It's not standing in front of the mirror chanting affirmations you don't believe. It's grit. It's discipline. It's reminding yourself you've got a choice. You can choose to complain, or you can choose to find one damn reason to be grateful. You can choose to stay stuck, or you can choose to take one small action forward. Even if it's just brushing your teeth and making the bed. Guess what? That's momentum. That's proof you're not a victim of your day. You're the author of it. You've got two voices in your head. One says, "This sucks." The other says, "I've got this." The one you feed, that's the one that wins. Every single time. So feed the right one. Choose the thought that gives you power, not the one that steals it. Because here's the secret. Your brain is listening to every word you say to yourself. And the more often you choose positivity, the more it becomes your default setting. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Let's end with this. You don't need to change everything. You don't need a massive life overhaul today. You just need to shift your attitude by 1 degree. Smile when you don't feel like it. Say, "Thank you," even when things go wrong. Move your body even if your brain says stay on the couch. Because those tiny decisions, they compound. And 6 months from now, you won't even recognize the person you used to be. So stop waiting. Your life is happening right now. Decide who's in charge, your excuses or your attitude, and make it count. You want a better life. It starts with how you show up when things are hard. When nothing is going your way, when you're tired, stressed, and completely unmotivated. That's the moment that defines you. Not the good days, not the highlights. Anyone can be positive when they just got a raise or on vacation sipping a latte with a filter over their life. But when the alarm hits at 6 a.m. and you feel like hell, when the kids are yelling or your inbox is full of crap you don't want to deal with, that's when your attitude is tested. That's when you either build resilience or reinforce excuses. You don't need to feel good to do good. That's the trap. People wait around for motivation to show up like it's an Amazon delivery. It's not coming. Action is what creates energy. Action builds momentum. And it starts with the tiniest decisions. Get out of bed when your brain says no. Say something kind instead of snapping. Choose not to dwell on that thing that didn't go your way. Every one of those decisions is a rep in the gym of your mind. It's training your brain to lean into strength instead of weakness. And here's the truth: life isn't fair. Bad things happen to good people. You can't control that, but you can control your reaction. You can control how you talk to yourself in the mirror. You can show up for yourself even on the worst days. That's what a positive attitude really is. Not smiling through the pain, but showing up anyway. Choosing growth instead of guilt, power instead of pity. When you show up for yourself in those small, private, brutal moments, that's where change starts. That's when you take your life back. One decision at a time. You want to know the fastest way to ruin your potential. Keep talking trash to yourself. Seriously. Most people lose the fight before they even step into the ring, because their mind is already filled with excuses, doubt, and that voice that whispers, "You're not good enough." And the worst part, you believe it. You trust that voice more than your own capability. You let it run your life. But here's the truth: in your brain is wired to protect you, not to push you. That inner critic, that hesitation you feel before you speak up or take a risk. It's not truth. It's fear. And fear is a liar. You've got to learn to talk back to it. You have to interrupt the pattern. Your thoughts aren't facts. They're just patterns you've repeated over and over, and now they feel automatic. But they're not permanent. And they're definitely not helpful. If your best friend spoke to you the way you speak to yourself, you'd cut them off in a heartbeat. So why do you tolerate it from your own mind? Confidence doesn't come from achievements. It comes from the habit of proving to yourself that you can trust your own actions. Every time you take a step forward, even when you're scared, even when you don't have it all figured out, you teach your brain a new language. You build new evidence. And that's how you start silencing the doubt. Not with magic, not with perfection, but with action. Tiny, uncomfortable, imperfect action. You don't need to feel confident to act. You need to act to build confidence. That's how you shift your mindset. That's how you change your life from the inside out. You wake up every day and think your life is supposed to change by accident. Like maybe today you'll suddenly feel motivated, or someone will discover you, or things will just get easier. That's not how it works. The truth is, your life changes when you change. When you decide you're done waiting, done blaming, done giving your power away to other people or your past or your excuses. The difference between where you are and where you want to be. It's not luck. It's not even talent. It's discipline. It's the decision to show up for your life even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. There is no magic in motivation. That stuff is fleeting. Some days you'll have it, most days you won't. So what? You're still responsible for your choices. And your choices, not your feelings, are what build your future. That's the wake-up call most people avoid. They sit around waiting to want to change. But wanting isn't enough. You've got to act. Even while you're scared, even while you're doubting yourself, even while your life still looks messy and uncertain. That's how it starts. You won't feel ready. No one ever does. You'll question yourself. You'll fail. You'll get uncomfortable. But you do it anyway, because that's how you grow. That's how you earn the life you say you want, one uncomfortable decision at a time. And the more you choose growth over comfort, action over excuses, discipline over doubt, the more your life starts to shift, slowly at first. Then suddenly, your attitude is like a lens. It colors how you see everything. If you're wearing the lens of negativity, even opportunities look like threats, and challenges feel like personal attacks. But when you shift your attitude to one of positivity, not fake cheerfulness, but real grounded optimism, the entire world starts to look different. You begin to see options where you once saw dead ends. You spot solutions instead of problems. You catch yourself before spiraling and say, wait, what else could this mean? What can I learn here? That's the power of a positive attitude. It doesn't erase hard things. It rewires how you face them. Most people don't realize they're sabotaging their own life by holding on to a bad attitude like it's proof of intelligence. Like being cynical is somehow more realistic. But what if being hopeful is actually smarter? What if expecting things trains your brain to create good things? That's not delusion. That's psychology. Your brain follows the direction of your dominant thoughts. So if you're always focused on what's wrong, guess what your life will reflect? But if you train yourself, and it is training, to focus on what's possible, your brain starts to back you up with energy, creativity, and courage. That's when momentum builds. That's when you realize changing your attitude is changing your life. You don't have to feel positive to act positive. This is where most people get stuck. They wait to feel motivated, inspired, confident. And that wait keeps them stuck for days, weeks, sometimes years. But here's the truth: your feelings are not a requirement for action. They're just a response. And you can change that response by taking action first. It's backwards from what we're taught, but it works. You wake up tired, anxious, and overwhelmed. Fine. Get up anyway. Say something kind. Smile at someone. Do one thing that moves your life forward. That small act, even if it feels fake in the moment, starts to shift your mental state. When you act with intention, even in the absence of good feelings, your brain catches up. It starts to say, oh, we're doing something. I guess we're okay. That's how confidence grows. Not from waiting to feel ready, but from proving to yourself over and over that you can move forward even when it's hard. It builds trust in your own ability to lead yourself. And that's what changes everything. Not some magical surge of positivity, but the decision to act like the person you want to become. Feelings follow actions, not the other way around. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. That's the power of attitude. Life will throw curveballs. Someone will betray you, plans will fall apart, people will disappoint you, and you will fail at things that mattered to you. That's not a maybe, that's a guarantee. But what's optional is how you let those moments define you. You can spiral into self-pity, blame the world, or shut down. Or you can take a breath, remind yourself who you are, and decide that this moment will not break you. The attitude you bring into adversity determines what you get out of it. You might not be able to stop the storm, but you can stand in it without letting it drown you. You can choose to look at setbacks as redirection. You can take failure and squeeze growth out of it. That doesn't mean it's easy. It just means you're refusing to be a victim of your circumstances. You're saying, this is tough, but I'm tougher. And over time, that mindset builds resilience. It builds identity. Suddenly, you're not someone who needs life to be perfect. You're someone who's powerful no matter what life throws your way. That's not luck. That's choice. Let's get something straight. Positivity isn't about pretending everything is great when it's not. It's not about slapping on a smile when you feel like crying or repeating affirmations in the mirror hoping your problems magically disappear. Positivity is a decision. It's the discipline of choosing to see possibility where others see dead ends. It's about showing up to your life, even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable, and refusing to let negativity be the loudest voice in your head. When you practice positivity consistently, you train your brain to spot opportunity instead of danger. You stop obsessing over what could go wrong and start focusing on what you can do right now to move forward. This isn't about being narvy. It's about being strategic. Because when your attitude is strong, your actions follow, and actions are where the magic happens. That little shift in mindset, it changes how you talk to yourself, how you tackle challenges, how you lead, how you love, and how you live. You become someone people want to be around. Not because your life is perfect, but because your energy is contagious. You've decided that your happiness isn't something you wait for. It's something you create